Okay, so feeding it. To feed it, you need unbleached flour, all-purpose flour. Now you need to weigh it out. And I always just do 100 grams of water and 100 grams of flour. And so there's barely any starter in here. And then my stirring thing is always chopstick for some reason, because I can reach the bottom. But I just took it out of the fridge and left it in there. You can leave it in the fridge pretty much as long as you want. Like, maybe like a month max, I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure it can die, but stir it pretty good. Then we just need to add the new stuff to feed it. So now, take the scale, which hopefully you can see the numbers. Do the water first, because then with the flour, when you overdo it, you can take it out easier. This is where you get the 100. So you gotta get to exactly 100. 99. Oh my goodness, 102. Alright, now we're just going to do 102 grams of flour. There. Okay, so I did it to 103, and this is why I do the flour second, because then you can just pinch it off and then get it so it's the right number. I don't know how much it matters to be super exact, but I always just make it the numbers match. So there's 102 grams of water and flour now in here, so it's just important that it's equal. And I just do that number because that's what fits in my peanut butter jar that I have for the starter. And that seems to work, so just do equal parts is the main thing. And then now, all you have to do is just mix this up for a while and then put it in there. And then I'm going to pause it now to skip the mixing part. Okay, you put all your flour, water mixture in there, and you mix it in again. This is just a big wrist workout when you use a chopstick, so maybe use a better option for that. But there is your starter fed. So I just took it out of the fridge and fed it. And I like to scrape stuff down on the side because I feel like that makes it grow better. I don't know, but the side stuff, that's the goodies. So don't forget about the stuff on the side. But after you're all done feeding it, just leave it out, let it double, and then I usually feed it twice after it's been in the fridge for a while. It was only in the fridge for a couple days. I'll probably just feed it once, maybe twice, I don't know, we'll see. That's how you feed it. So I'll bake with this tomorrow, or I'll start making the dough tomorrow. So I'm gonna wait for it to rise all day, and then before I go to bed at some point tonight, I'll feed it again. And then in the morning, when it'll have risen a bunch, then I'll actually use that when it's at its most active point. That's when I'll use it to start the dough. And that's important, just making sure that you get it to its most active point before you start even baking with it. So yeah, that's the plan. And you have to make sure that it doubles before you start the dough. That's important. Otherwise your bread will suck, and you don't want that. So you have to mark it and let it double. And then now that it's doubled, we can make the beginning happen. And put the GoPro back in the stupid thing. There we go. Okay. And so here's the recipe for sourdough. Easy. Water, starter, salt, bread flour. I don't know if I have enough bread flour, so we might mix it with what I have. But bread flour is the best, I think. But yeah. So start off, put water on your scale. 375 grams. Hopefully I can figure out how to speed it.
At 340, and way too much. 370. Okay, 375. So all the wires.
And tear 100 grams of starter. There we go. This part is kind of fun. Gloop it in. Gloop. Gloop. The recipe that I follow says to do 50 to 100 grams. And I've just always done 100. Because maybe it makes it better, I don't know. Oh, now it's at 99, so now I use my finger to do the little ones. 101, good enough for me. Okay, so got the water and the starter in. Now we need the salt and the bread flour. Salt. Measure the salt in the little thing because it seems like it's easier. And I use the thing with this guy in it. Let's see, 11 grams. It's 14. 11. Alright, cool. Oh. Okay, I usually mix this up before I add in the flour. So salt maybe dissolves, I don't know. Yeah, I mix right here.
Alright, good enough. Now we gotta add in the flour. Let's see how much flour you have. 500 grams is a lot. I'll have just enough. 500 grams. Now you mix it up and make your dough.
So I'm gonna skip the mixing part. Okay, it looks pretty good. Mix it a little more, and then put it in, or then you cover it for a half hour, and then you do your stretch and fold. So yeah, just mix it up There's no more big chunks of flour. And that looks pretty good to me. So now you can go hang out for a half hour and then you do some stretch and folds. Set the timer, cover it up with this dirty towel, and now I'll be back in half an hour. Okay, so I didn't even realize that I had oranges, so I was just going to make a normal one, but now I'm going to make the orange cranberry one because we have it. So use these and the oranges. Now I'm going to zest a bunch of the oranges and then juice them and then soak the cranberries in it. So I might let it rest for more than a half hour because that'll probably take me a second to do. But yeah, that's the plan. Boring. Made juice. Cover these in the juice. Stir it around with your finger so they all get tasty. Here's a chopstick again, actually. Okay. This all is optional. But this is the cranberry now. Cranberry orange bread. So I'm gonna get some more zest off these and then I'll be back. And once the timer goes off, still waiting for it to rise. Ended up with that much zest. Still got 15 more minutes for it to rise. I might wait a bit longer than normal because I want these to soak and get more orangey. But yeah, things are looking good. Thought I was gonna just make a regular one, but now I can make the tasty orange one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So this has been soaking for a while. Now I'm gonna strain the juice out and get the berries so there's not too much liquid to add in. So I'm gonna strain these really quick and then I'll be right back. Best part about this is that you make yourself 1 glass of cranberry orange juice. So you get one tasty beverage out of it. Maybe not even a glass because it's not that much, but yeah, it's tasty. And after this, we'll do our stretch and folds and add in all of the zest and the cranberries. And so you do 3 stretch and folds, usually like a half hour apart, and then that's usually good. So 3 stretch and folds. Doesn't have to be exactly a half hour, just kind of do what you can do. But yeah. So I added some of the zest in with the cranberries. And now I'm just gonna add some of these on top, not all of them. That looks good. We'll add the rest in a second. And then when you're doing stretch and folds, you always gotta get your hand wet. And I use this thing to just unstick it easy.
But now that's unstuck a little bit. Wet hand, stretch, fold. Some genius came up with the name stretch and fold because you stretch and you fold. And then now we did a couple of those. Add in more of these. And then do some more. Try to get them all around. Stretch and fold. And we're going to put in the rest of the zest right now.
It'll be much easier without all the fancy stuff in there. It'll be less like liquid. Since I didn't realize I had all the orange stuff, I added in, I would have taken out a little bit of liquid at the beginning, like a little bit of the water I would have taken out, because you add in so much liquid by doing the cranberries. But it'll be fine. It's just more hydrated or whatever. But okay. Yeah, then because now we're gonna let it rest more, I try and just get it into a ball where you just pour all the stuff on the bottom. But nice. Now we incorporated all the stuff. Wait another half hour. Do more stretch and folds. Repeat 3 total stretch and folds. Combine. Time for stretch and fold. Number 1 or 2, I guess. And wet, stretch, fold. And
Wet, stretch, fold. Stretch, fold. Try and mix up the part that had a million cranberries. Stretch, fold. Stretch, fold. Okay.
30 minutes need to go by once again.
Stretch, fold. Stretch, fold. Stretch, fold. Stretch, fold.
Alright, now we did all the stretch and folds. So after like 2 hours later, roughly, whatever. So now it has to sit for a while. Like at least like 6 hours, maybe more, depending on how much time it takes for it to double. You want it to double. Yeah, you want it to double, but I'll show you what it looks like at the end. So yeah, now I just wait a long time. And then usually right before I go to bed, I just shape it and put it in the fridge. So now, like, it's currently 4:57. We'll probably do this again at like 11 or something, I don't know, but whenever it looks good. So yeah. Okay, looks nice and big. When you touch it, it goes right back slowly. That's some kind of thing, I don't know. It's now 11:07 p.m. and it's time to shape the dough so I can put it in my basket thing and be done. More flour. Okay. Get it much quicker, but I'm sleepy, so you just do that and stretch and fold it all into one place. And so you one open, and this thing is kind of handy for this time. You can just push it around, and this helps make it into a tight ball. There we go. Now I have to leave it out for a half hour, and then I'll put it in my basket. Now I'll put it in. I always like to flip it so that the crease is on the top, because then it's going to flip into the oven the right way. Now I leave it in the fridge till I'm ready to bake. Okay, I forgot I was filming this bread video, but I preheated the oven to 450, preheated the Dutch oven in there for a while. We put it in, let it preheat with the oven, and then I put in the bread straight from the fridge. This is like 2 days later from everything else, and now I'm gonna take it out after baking the bread in for 5 minutes. It's only been baked for 5 minutes, and now I'm gonna do the scoring part. So I forgot to film me putting it in at the beginning. So I'm doing a basic line. Add some more to the line. And that was super easy because I left it in. No, I'm just gonna leave it with the line. I thought about making it more fancy. And then this one I saw on some video, but you put in ice cubes that I cut in half into smaller pieces. Put it in, where you put the lid on, and that makes more steam. So now back into the 450 degree oven for 25 minutes. Okay, so now we turn the temperature from 450 to 400, and then we take the lid off. Oh yeah, I think we're in there. So now we just bake it for 15 more minutes with the top off. Be back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tasty bread. Now we just gotta let it cool. And we're done.
Woo! Wait, face it towards me.